Hello everyone, in this video I will explain you about the batch process in a Drupal. What is the batch process, what is the use of batch process and how to implement the batch process in a Drupal. So before that I want to show you one error message which is very common. The fatal error maximum execution time of 120 seconds exceeds. So this error occurs when we are performing the operations on the large data which is taking more than 120 seconds to do the execution. So to overcome this issue, Drupal has introduced the batch API in a Drupal 6. In the batch process, the large data is split into the small batches and these batches are executed after one another in a queue. Using this, we can avoid the maximum execution time of 120 second exceeds error. Now I will show you the demo how to create the batch operations in a Drupal. So in this demo I will create the batch operation on inserting the data into the node. So for that first I will create the one form in my module which is already there, employee module. Inside the form I will create the one file and its name will be batch form.php. Next is the namespace Drupal module name employee and the form. So to keep this video short, I will use the existing form code. It will save our time. I will copy this, paste it here. We don't require the database connection, so I will remove that. I'll change the name to the batch form, change the ID to the batch process form. Next is the build function. Inside this function I will create one submit button. On click on this submit button our batch process will run. So for that form submit equal to type equal to submit. Next is the value. $this T submit. Now I will create the submit form function. For that I will copy this, paste here, change the function name to the submit form, and here we need to add the ampersand. Inside this submit form, now I will call one function which returns the data. So this function returns some data from this external API. So you can check the video related to this, which is how to create the nodes programmatically. In this function I am calling the 20 records at a time. This function returns the data in this format, like ID, name, email, gender and the status. I will save this data and create the nodes of this data using the batch process. I am taking this data for the demo purpose. You can create the batch process functionality as per your requirement. To call this function in my API, first we need to include this controller. I will include that controller class first. Use Drupal, and that controller is exist in another module, that is the hello world. here you can see up to that controller and the controller name, and now I will create the object of that class $result equal to new API controller. I will change its name to the result object, and now I will call the function which is inside this API controller. The function name is get API data, and store that data in a result variable. Result equal to $result object and the method name. Now we will start writing the batch process code. So first we create one variable operation equal to, we declare this variable as array, and after that in for each I will look through this data which is available in this result. So $result as $node data, in the operation array. Now I will pass this data. So operation first we need to create one more class where inside that class we will insert this data into the node. So that class name will be the custom batch, and I will write the path of that class and create that class in some time. /Drupal module name employee custom batch, and call the method from that method name will be the batch operation. On the next line I will pass this node data to that function. Now we will write the code for the finish function, which is get executed after completing all these operations, like storing this data into the node. The finish operation function will get executed. For that I will create one more variable batch. Inside batch it will be the array. So write the title. It will show, this title will get visible on that batch process page. Title will be like inserting. Next is the operations. Pass this operation variable to this operation attribute. Next is the, after finishing this operation, which functions we need to call. Mention that function name here. We will create that function in the custom batch class, and that function name will be batch finish. And last step is set the batch underscore set, and pass the batch variable. Now I will create this custom batch class, and inside this custom batch class we will create the two methods, batch operation and the batch finish. Inside the batch operation we will insert all this data into the node. In the batch finish method we will show the message with how many nodes are created. To create this class I will go to the src folder, and inside this folder we'll create the one more file, and that file name will be the custom batch.php. First I will write the namespace Drupal employee, include the class which is used to create the nodes. So the class name is Drupal node entity / node class custom batch. And now I will create this method which we have declared here, public static function, and the parameters will be the node data which is passed from here, and the second one is the $& context. In one of the video which is how to create the nodes programmatically, for that I have already written the code how to insert the data and create the node. So I will use the same code to create the nodes. It will save our time, and we'll copy and paste here. So I will explain this code one more time. In the node data array, I get the data in this format: node and the field name, and after that here is the code written to save the data into the node. My content type name is the employee data, and I have set the title as a name, field ID as ID, field name as name, field email as email, gender and status, and I have saved this data. After that I will declare one array, context array, and this array is used to count how many records are there. So to this array I will assign the node data array. Now I will write the next function, which is the batch finish function. So public static function batch finish, and add the parameters success, next is the results, and last one is the operations. In this function we will show the message how many records are created. First I will check if the batch process is success. Then I will assign some message to this message variable. For that I will use the Drupal : translation format plural. So this will show the dynamic messages. Suppose if only one node is created, so in that case it will show the message like one node is created. Or if the multiple nodes are created, then it will show the 10 nodes are created, like it will be in the plural. Inside this function I will count the results data. For that write the count function and write the results, If only one record is created, then in that case we will show the one node created successfully. And if there are multiple nodes created, in that case it will get the count from this count, and the message will be nodes are created successfully. In else, if any error occur, will show that error some error occur during batch process. And at the end, I will show that message within the Drupal messenger add status, pass the variable message. Now I will explain this code. So meantime I will clear the cache. So first we have created this form, and inside the form we have called this API controller which returns some data, and in the submit function we have called this API and store the data in the result variable, and we have looped through this data and pass this data to the custom batch class, and in the finish we are calling the batch finish function, and in the custom batch first method is the batch operation. We are getting this node data, and I have extracted this data into these variables, and from that data created this node, and on this line I have saved this node and pass this data to this result context variable to count the data. And next function is the batch finish function. Inside the batch finish function we have showed the two messages, one is the singular and another is the plural. If one node is created, it will show this message, and if the multiple nodes are created, it will show the count with this message. Okay, to call this form we need to write the routing as well. So for that I will write the routing inside the employee.routing.yaml file. I will copy this routing, paste here, change the routing to the batch demo. Path will be batch form, title will be batch process demo, and the path of that class, that form is batch form. Save it. I can clear the cache. The cache is clear now. Go to the routing, batch form, and enter this URL here, localhost. So right now the button is not visible. Okay, we need to return the form variable so that it will show the button. Return $form, save it, again go to the form. So right now we are able to see the submit button. So I have made the two spelling mistakes. First is this translation, we need to remove the trans A and make it as a translation. Second one is this result, it should be the results, because we are counting the data from these results. Now I will show you that there is no data inside this employee data content type. You now go to our form, refresh it, and click on the submit button. Here you can see we are getting this message, and the nodes are created using the batch process. I will refresh this. So we are getting the 3 nodes are created successfully. Here you can see the 3 records are added. Again I will submit this. It started the initializing, completed 1 out of 6, and total 6 records will get inserted into this content type, employee data content type. Again filter it. So this is not the large data. Now I will change this count to the, right now I kept the 20, and from this 20 there are some empty records also. That's why it is not, we are not getting the 20 records. I'll create it as a 200, and now we can see it will insert the multiple records. Here you can see that now it is inserting the 56 records. From this 56 it is showing these are the completed. I will show this message is coming from this title, and the message which is get display after this batch get finished, that message is coming from here. So now it is showing the 56 records are created successfully. I'll refresh this. So here you can see these nodes are created. So that's it from this video. I hope this video helps you in some way. Please like the video and subscribe the channel to get notified whenever I create the new content. Thank you for watching.